Hello and welcome to World Data League 2022. My name is Leone Holkin and I'm the head of competition here at WDL. And with me, we have three wonderful co-hosts who will also present themselves. Maybe Alex, you can go first.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexandra. I'm based in Warsaw, Poland. I'm one of the community managers together with Maggie. So you may know us from all of those emails and Discord posts. So now maybe Maggie.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Maggie. Like Alex said, I'm also one of the community managers. I'm based in Portugal, in the north, in Porto. And I'll be helping you alongside Alex with everything you need on Discord or via email as well. Very nice to meet you all.
Okay, and I guess I'm the last one to go. My name is Miguel. Hi, everyone, not least, hopefully. Currently based in France. I'm one of the co-founders of the World Data League, and I'll also be one of your hosts on this awesome event we have set up for you. So let's go.
Perfect. So we're basically connecting from 4 different countries because I'm based in Antwerp, Belgium. So that's really great to see. So we're going to dive right deep into it, and we're going to start with the league opening. So what we're going to do is to present a bit what is World Data League, what are the rules, but our recommendation is to obviously read the participants guideline and the rule book. So can we kick off the presentation? Perfect.
Cool.
Before we start, just one quick announcement that you can always ask questions in the YouTube live stream, and one of ours will try to look at them, and then at the end we will compile the questions and we will try to answer as many as possible in this session. For the ones we won't have time, we will make sure to answer them also on Discord. So all the logistics for the opening are done, and then it's my great pleasure to welcome you to World Data League 2022. Before we begin, what is World Data League? So we usually use this sentence to describe it. It's a data competition that brings together the best minds in data science, machine learning, and AI to build long-lasting solutions for social impact challenges. Now, this is a lot of buzzwords, you might think, but we really truly believe in every single thing that is in this sentence. So we really want to create this kind of open innovation platform or open innovation hub for social impact challenges, where we can bring all the good minds that there are in data science to think about these problems that could have a really big impact into our future. And this year, just as a previous year, we chose the topic data-driven communities. And this is because basically last year we already focused on the 11th UN Sustainable Development Goal, which was sustainable cities and communities. And we realized that there is still so much to do and so many things that could be explored. So this year we decided to focus not only on the 11th Sustainable Goal, but also on all the others that could be incorporated under data-driven cities and communities. So our teams will have the opportunity to open new doors to subjects like climate, inequalities, and the environmental ecosystems of the cities. And Miguel, now we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Leon. Yeah, you've already met us 4, but in fact, there's a whole gang running alongside us, putting together this World Data League. And spoiler alert, you'll actually see some of them during the live sessions throughout WDL. First off, we have Fabiana handling communication and design. There's Celso in design as well. The 2 Ruis, like we like to call them, Rui Mendes and Rui Pereira, handling fundraising and corporate partnerships. João developing our submission platform that you'll get to experience. Tamara is doing data science and benchmarking our challenges. And Ricardo is managing the mentors and jury. From last year, we've grown our team quite a lot, and we are now 11 people in total, putting together this event for all of you. Let's move on to some more statistics and numbers. Similarly to last year, we also have 50 teams, but this year we decided to go up our game a little bit, and we brought in representation for even more countries. This year we have a total of 39 countries represented and a grand total of 201 participants. This is a great opportunity for everyone to connect to fellow participants from all over the world. And who knows, one day we might be hearing about another great international project coming in from collaborations that started here on this WDL22. So do take advantage of this network and community. Looking now at gender distribution, we have 69% male, 30% female, and 1% other, which is a fair bit above the average distribution of genders in the data science field in favor of the female side, which is also great news. In terms of age distribution, it stayed approximately the same as last year, with the great news that this year we have representation from higher age brackets. We actually have 2% of WDL participants aged 46 to 60, which in my opinion serves as the ultimate proof that we data people are not magicians, because we just get old like everybody else. But moving on, and before we get canceled on this comment, the last stat is one of the most interesting in my opinion, and that is the number of years of experience in areas such as data science, machine learning, and AI. 26% of participants are already at a senior level and 56% are mid-level. I mean, we even have 3% of participants who would be at a principal level at any tech company or finishing their PhDs. So if it wasn't clear already, this goes to prove that WDL is one of the best places for learning and collaboration among fellow participants. And that's only possible with the power of this community. So let's now talk about the format of the competition with Leon.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Miguel. So yes, now we will talk a bit about the format and how the competition will roll. If you've participated last year, you will see that there are some changes to the competition in terms of format, in terms of length, and also in terms of how much time you have to solve the challenges. Let's begin first with a high-level overview of the format. So if you have already read the participants guidebook, you will see that we will first have 2 stages, which will last 1 month each, and you will have 3 weeks to solve the challenges. During each of the stages, you will get some certain number of points, and they'll be combined together into a leaderboard. The final leaderboard will only have 20%, will count only 20% of your worst score and 80% of your best score. So this means that if we will give you an opportunity to improve yourself, but also you shouldn't completely not do a certain challenge if you did score well on one of the stages. Then the best 13 teams out of the 50 will join to the semifinals, which will happen the month after that. And there you will again have 3 weeks to solve a challenge. We will also have a new thing this edition, is that we will have 2 external competitions from which the winners will also join in the semifinals, making a total of 15 teams. You will compete for 3 weeks. You will submit. It's going to work exactly the same as the first 2 stages, but from here on, only 5 teams proceed to the finals. And the finals, we will have the creme de la creme of the data science teams inside World Data League. Well, they will compete all for the final prize. And here it's going to be a little bit change. It's going to be a much more faster pace, only 2 weeks to solve the challenge. And you will need to present your solution to a big jury, which is composed of domain experts. So we will be really testing your communication skills here as well. And how does a stage or a semifinal or a final look like? Well, you will basically get some challenges and some data. And I say challenges in plural because during the first stage and second stage, you will be able to choose which challenge you will work on. You will be able to choose one of the 2 challenges proposed on stage 1 and one of the 3 challenges proposed on stage 2, which you will see soon what each challenge is. You will have then again, as I said, 3 weeks to solve it, or 2 weeks in the case of the finals. You will submit your solution, which will explain just in a bit what it is. And then our grand jury, well, not grand, but big jury will evaluate it right afterwards, and it will be compiled into a leaderboard. Big difference from last year, it's that you will also get a break. So if you're the ones who participated last year, you will know that it was really intense, and then one stage ended, another one started. Now you will have a week as a break between the stages. Then let's talk about deliverables. Here, there is also something new. So last year, as you remember, for the ones who participated, there was a video pitch and a Jupyter Notebook. We switched things around. So this year, you will need to deliver a video pitch of 3 minutes. maximum. If it's longer than 3 minutes, the jury will stop evaluating at the 3-minute mark. So it's really important that you keep the time if you want to get a good score on it. In this video pitch, you need to summarize basically the solution that you are proposing and what kind of techniques you used and so on. This will help not first the jury to evaluate your communication skills, but also to get a better understanding when they're going to dive deeper into the technical aspect of the solution. There's another new point here, which is the executive summary. It's a markdown file where you describe the product that you thought of, but also where you describe the impact that you think your product might be able to do. And this product should be based on your technical solution, based on the modeling that you do in your Jupyter notebook, which leads me to the last but not least, the Jupyter notebook. This is where you do all your coding, and this is where everything that you develop for the solution should be there. And I would recommend that you look at both the templates of the evaluation of the executive summary in Jupyter Notebook before you start working, so you understand what is the content and what you need to write down there. Now, let's talk about the evaluation criteria. Your submission is going to be evaluated into 4 different criteria. 20% product. This is to see if you understand what is the problem, what challenge this the topic entity is trying to solve, what kind of idea are you proposing for the usage of the model. Then another one is impact. So do you know what kind of impact does this product you're thinking about will have? Do you know how to measure it? And again, if you follow very well the instructions have in the template, you should also get good scores in that sense. Then there's the technical skills. That's 45%, a big chunk, obviously, with still a technical competition. And this is everything that has to do with the process of creating machine learning models or optimization models. So have you tried different models? Have you tried different approaches? Did you do one EDA and so on and so on and so on? So this is very important that you really think about all the aspects of AI and machine learning. And then finally, soft skills. This is just basically your communication skills. If you document things well in your Jupyter notebook, if you present well your pitch and so on. An ideal team will score quite high on every single of these points. So it's important to think about all these things since the beginning. And so let's dive now a bit into more detail on how will this competition look like in the next 4 months for you. So now we're on stage 1. And what does this mean is that basically today it's 2nd of March, we're kicking this off as the World Data League opening session. Next, we're going to have the World Data League show where it's more of a relaxed conversation with some players such as jury, mentors, some corporate sponsors and so on. And then we'll have the launch and the roundtable where you will be able to hear from domain experts on what is important in this challenge. So I would really advise you to listen very well to these experts and to ask questions as well, because this is exactly understanding this is your opportunity to understand well the problem. And this is the opportunity for you to as well, if you understand well the problem, to solve also the executive summary and to get good points on the product and impact criteria. Then in this stage, we're going to have 2 workshops. So one is going to be on solving data science challenges by Google Cloud Platform. And the other one on 8th of March, the name is still to be announced, but it's going to be by EDP, one of our corporate partners. Then there's going to be the human bingo, which you will hear in a bit from our community managers. And then finally, the really important date is the 23rd of March by 23:59 anywhere on Earth. You should submit your solution. Then for stage 2, we basically start all over again on April 1st. It's not going to be a April's Fool joke, I promise, but this is when we actually kick off our stage. Again, everything is going to be in the same format. On the 4th of April, there's going to be a workshop, which we'll still be announcing soon. There's going to be an activity, which is scavenger hunt, which we'll hear about in a bit. And then really important, 22nd of April, 23:59, anytime on Earth, you will need to submit your challenge. Semifinals, again, same thing, but one important aspect here is that on 2nd of May, when we will kick off, you will also know which teams are actually advancing to the semifinals. And again, really important date here, 23rd of May, which is when you should submit your challenge. Finally, the finals. Again, it's the same format, but as you can see, the timing is a bit shorter. And also there is one unimportant news here. It's that from 17th to 19th of June, this might actually be a live event. This will still highly depend on what is the situation of the current pandemic, what is the possibilities to travel, but we will make sure that in case it is live, we will provide the necessary conditions for you to be there or either be in a hybrid mode. And this will be still presented in the upcoming month. But don't be afraid, we'll make sure that everyone has the opportunity to participate in the finals. Then let's talk a bit about mentoring. So you probably already have joined Discord, and here our Discord magician Maggie has already has set up channels, and in each of channels you will be able to find mentors. That's your mentor pool, so to say, for whom you can ask for help, and you can schedule with them also mentoring video calls, according, of course, to their availability. Now, please be minded that the mentors have limited availability, so please schedule your meetings in advance. One really important aspect is that you must schedule at least one meeting per stage, and 2 meetings during the semifinals and 2 meetings during the finals with the mentors. This is obligatory. You don't need to have the whole team there, but this is just a quick checkup on how you're doing, if you need any help, also from our side, and also to provide a bit of feedback so we know that the competition is going on track. And then we know that how things are going as well, so we get a feeling for it. Again, it doesn't need to be a really long meeting if you don't feel like you have a need for a long meeting, and also it doesn't need to be that the whole team is there. So don't stress too much about it. And this is also, we will not evaluate you during your during these checkpoints. Then now I will pass the ball to Maggie to talk a bit about Discord and explain how this will work.
Thank you so much, Leon. So basically Discord, it's going to be the meeting point for everyone. I think you all pretty much understand by now that we do most of our communication via Discord, which means please try to at least one member of your team to be online once a day or every 2 days to make sure you don't miss anything. Some, I think, normal rules for any place where a lot of people work. So collaboration is welcome, but harassment is not. Feel free to share memes, jokes. We had a lot of fun times last year, and I hope we can do it once again. And if you feel like anyone is harassing you or anyone is breaking the rules, feel free to talk to me and Alex, and we'll solve the problem. So now I'm going to show you a little bit of the channels on Discord available. I think all of you pretty much are on Discord right now, so we already know more or less these channels. So we have our public channel where everyone is there, is the WDL Welcome. Then we have a help desk, basically anything regarding competition format or deadlines can be asked here, and me and Alex are trying to guide you as best as we can. Then the announcements channel, as you saw yesterday, like we announced the live sessions and some important links or the newsletters that are going to be sent to you. Then challenge support is our technical channel for you to ask about the data sets or some technical issues regarding the challenge you are working on. Of course, the mentoring channel is the one that Leon already explained, where you can ask all the experts any questions you have regarding the challenges. And all of you are already inserted on your team channel. You have a voice and a text channel, and your assigned mentors are already there. So feel free to present yourselves there, and the mentors as well. And finally, the activities channel is the fun one. So we are doing now some fun activities, and we are trying to communicate with most of you there, and everyone is there. So again, feel free to share anything you find helpful or fun. Yeah, I think that's it for Discord. And now Miguel is going to talk to you about the live sessions.
Thanks, Maggie. Well, in terms of live sessions, if you're here, then you pretty much did 100% of the work already. But to reiterate, all live sessions will be hosted here on YouTube, and the link will be shared sometime in advance on Discord, or you can also access through our website. You can use the comment section directly here on YouTube to ask questions or make comments. Obviously, don't be disrespectful. and do ask any questions that you might have. We will answer questions at the end of the sessions, for example, on the session that we're hosting right now, or we will be picking up questions to ask to our speakers when we have sessions that have external speakers. Next up, we have the submission platform, or in other words, your go-to place for everything related to the challenges. Here, you will be able to access the challenge descriptions and data sets, see the leaderboard, check all deadlines, and obviously, most importantly, submit your solution. This is also where the jury will evaluate your submissions, and you will be able to see a detailed view of your score for each evaluation criteria that Leon presented before. You can see how to access the submission platform on the kickoff email you received previously. The first screen you'll land on after login is this dashboard, where all stages will be shown, including the deadlines for submission and evaluation. If a stage is marked with a yellow label, that means it's open and you can freely access the challenges and make submissions. Halfway through the stage, you will be asked to fill in your team checkpoint form, which serves as a way for us organizers to see your progress and unblock you in case you're having any issues. More details on the team checkpoint form will be shared on Discord. Obviously, future and past stages will be marked pink. Next up, if you open a stage, you will be able to see each challenge in detail, access its description and available data sets. You will also be able to see your position on the stage leaderboard at the end of the evaluation phase. Next up, when you're ready to submit, just open the stage, select the challenge you are submitting to in the drop-down menu, and upload the 3 deliverables. When a stage is over, you will be able to see the stage leaderboard and your score. Don't forget about the dreaded Murphy's Law. It's very important. Do not submit last minute. And by last minute, I mean the last 30 minutes. So be conservative and don't submit very close or too close to the deadline, which is 23:59 anywhere on Earth. Now, let's talk about prizes. There are several chances to win money prizes with WDL. It's not only about coming in first. We have a total prize pool of 15,000 euros. Obviously, the grand prizes will be given to the first, second, and third places of WDL, but this only applies to the finals in June. That means that in June, the third place gets 1,000 euros, second place gets 2,500 euros, and the grand winner of WDL gets 6,000 euros. But before the finals arrive, there's other prizes. For example, if you win the stage, you instantly get 1,000 euros for that. If you reach the finals, meaning you become a WDL finalist, you get 500 euros. And if you are also the winner of the semifinals, you get 500 euros on top of that. Additionally, all of these prizes are cumulative, meaning you can win more than one. That means that only at the end of WDL will we sum up all of the prize money of each team and make the final wire transfers. And if this wasn't enough, there's even more prizes for those who want to participate in the side activities, right, Alex? Let's hear more about that.
Thanks, Miguel. Yeah, so following the fun part of the prizes, let's talk about the fun part of activities. As you can see, there's one main activity per each stage. However, we are going to have some more fun, smaller activities in between of them. Right now, Get to Know, that Maggie is going to talk later a little bit about, is in progress until the end of this week. So teams create their own team badges. We kicked off Human Bingo today, and we'll talk about this also later today. Next, we are going to do some scavenger hunt with main partners, patrons, partners, and communities. And of course, for semifinals, we also have something prepared. There will be also other networking activities with partners, and all of those activities are going to have points assigned, and winners of all activities will get 500 euros. And you can see current activity leaderboard linked on Discord. and we are going to update it as soon as we have any points for activities. I think that's enough for now, so let's go back to Leon.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And before we finish this opening session, I would like to leave some tips and tricks that we learned already last year, that many participants that won the previous stages also have already left them during the WDL show. So, and there are quite some of them, but I'll try to go for them quite rather quickly. So first, choose your challenge quickly. A lot of teams last year took a week or more to try to see which challenge they're going to submit. And with this, you won't be able to focus on what you actually need to do, which is solve one of the challenges. So take maximum 1 to 2 days to choose one of the challenges, have a quick look at the data, but then attack one of them and not all of them at the same time. Then another important thing is that the key is teamwork here. So you have a very limited time, and so make sure you split your task very well amongst the team. And maybe there is some of you who would be better for writing the executive summary. Someone might be better for preparing the pitch. Somebody might be better in coding, or maybe you all want to split different coding tasks. So make sure that you split the tasks very well amongst you. Then don't forget about the storytelling and to tell the jury a story. The deliverable that you'll be writing should have a logical flow, which allows the jury to understand your solution to the fullest and why it would work. And also give context. Do not assume that the person who will read your report and code understands the full context of what you're doing. Really try to give proper information for each code block that you are writing. Then about charts. So this is a famous quote that everyone uses. Of course, it's not about the quantity, but the quality. And this is also true for your deliverable. If you will put a lot of similar charts that goes into an endless scroll, it's going to be really hard for the jury to evaluate. So the number of charts is not the same thing as the number of points you will get. So include a couple of them, of course, in the main part of your code. But if you see that they repeat themselves, if you see that they are similar to each other, you can just put them in the annex and attachment at the end of the deliverable, and then just mention that they are there, that you looked at it, and that they're all similar. And also, you don't need to be a whiz kid or make any awesome visualization in your reports, but don't forget the basics. Put labels, put captions, make sure that it's understandable really quickly what the jury is looking at. He doesn't need to be guessing as well. Then another thing, discuss what did not work. It's because you will try a lot of different things, and it's important to write it down. But don't forget the thing about the storyline. You don't need to put every single thing you tried in your main part of your notebook. The things that you tried and it didn't work, you can also detail them how you tried it at the end of the notebook in the annex. But in the beginning, just write a text and then keep your story and talk about your solution. And then again, also nobody likes a messy notebook. So we saw many good solutions, but many of them were not that very clearly communicated. It was not really understandable. How does the code work? Where's the code? So make sure that you have a really nice, tidy notebook. Then finally, take breaks, because it's going to be a long 4 months. So don't forget to turn off a bit and clear your head. We know that you are not 100% devoted to winning, but having some time to gain perspective might help you end up with a good solution. And finally, try to understand who are the judges. So who will be the judges in the stage 1, stage 2 semifinals, but also who is going to be the final judges. It will help you also to create the solutions for them. And that you can also see on our website who will be the experts. Maybe one final note as I'm talking about the experts. Just also wanted to add that it's actually another statistic that we did not mention in the beginning, but it's also a really amazing achievement, is that this year we have almost 90 experts between the mentors and jury who will be helping you or who will be evaluating your work. So that was also a really great achievement. A couple of reminders before we finish. So first of all, if you want free Google Cloud credits, then don't forget to fill in the form. Also, there is the Open Weather API, which you also received an email. do not forget to register as soon as possible, because this API will allow you to access some data that you will need to solve your challenges. This includes weather data and pollution data as well. Also, check if you can access the submission platform using the same email you used for registration in the World Data League. And if you are not receiving the token, make sure to check first in the spam folder. If you did not receive any of these, please do get in touch with Maggie or Alex on Discord. They will happily help you with any problems that you have or any emails you have not received regarding these topics. But those are really important topics. Then finally, but last but not least, we also need to thank all of our partners who are supporting this competition. It's based on EDP, JTA, from the Carlos Bacon Foundation, SaltPay, NOS, SmartWatt, LTP, Their Data, Novo Bank, Fidelat, and Axians. But we also have many other partners who are helping us. So we have quite some challenging data organizations who will be providing either data or data and challenges for you to work on. We have 2 external competitions from which the winner will join you in the semifinals. We have a lot of data science communities who helped us promote. And then finally, we have technical partners who are helping up with all the different technical aspects of the competitions. So I think that's pretty much it for now. Maybe let's see if we have any questions or anything there. Miguel, maybe you have seen anything?
Yes, we have 2 questions right now. So we have 3 questions actually. I'll start from first come, first serve. So question from David Gamba regarding the scoring. Is there a rubric that the juries will follow, sort of as subdivision of the points you show? I can take this one. Yes, there will be. So we have the evaluation criteria that Leon showed, but for each one of these criteria, we will have sub criteria that have each one of them their own weights. And the jury will be evaluating you in a scale of 0 to 3. And the process is very quantitative. They will use the submission platform as well. And inclusively, they also have helper text that helps them interpret what a 0 or a 1 or a 2 or a 3 mean for each one of the criteria. Then second question, also from David Gamba, anywhere on Earth means the last place on Earth that reaches the time, or it depends on where the submission is made? Leon, you want to take that?
It's basically, and so it's the last place on Earth where that time happens. So basically, I think, I don't know, it's somewhere in the Pacific, if I remember correctly. But this means that if you submit it by 23:59 your local time, you are always on time. That's the thing.
Very well said. Another question from Lucas. Does the score from the side activities influence the score from the challenge? It does not. So the activities are not mandatory, although they're very, very well recommended. And the leaderboard for activities will be on the side. The prizes are on the side. So if you don't want to participate in the activities, you don't have to. It has no influence on the leaderboard. Also, you don't have to participate in the challenges. You can also just participate on the activities, although you would be missing a big percentage of the experience in WDL, but they're completely separate. We have another question from Peter. Are we free to choose between R and Python?
Yes, you can choose whichever you prefer.
I would say you can choose between R, Python, and anything else.
Exactly.
So there's no
anything that
just
you
as long as it's runnable on it.
Anything you can use in a notebook that works.
Yes. And we have more questions coming. Awesome. So are multiple submissions, this is a question from the Rex Nov. Are multiple submissions possible for the challenges, maybe to checkpoint or maybe to improve our solutions? Yes, it's possible. You can make as many submissions as you want on the submission platform, but we will only consider the last one. So maybe. Actually, what you say is a good idea. If you want to have a first MVP and you want to immediately submit, I would say that's a good idea. And then as you build upon it, then you can maybe submit another solution. Leon, you were going to say something?
I was going to say exactly the same thing that you said. Very well said.
Awesome. Okay, more questions. Do all the members need to register for the data API or just one from one team?
One is enough, but of course that means that one member is the only one who will have access to the data, or you will need to share credentials. So that's the only thing that you need to keep in mind.
Okay, in terms of questions, that's it. I think we can wrap up this session. Maybe if we get another question in the meantime, we can reply in future sessions. Or if meanwhile you think about any other question, there's always Discord. That's working 24/7. 24/7, but let's be careful about that. As much as possible, 24/7.
Discord is working 24/7.
Exactly.
Discord is, but
We are not.
Yes, okay, but that's a wrap. We'll now go for a short break. Don't go too far. And after this, we're going to have the WDL show. So stay tuned. See you, everyone.
There used to be a time not so long ago where doing your admin was tough. Customers throwing bags and boxes full of invoices and receipts at their accountants, it was chaos. While the world around us became more digital, new challenges in the land of accounting arose. Challenges such as organizing the huge amount of documents coming from different sources in various formats. Yet somehow all of this data did seem to get perfectly organized. In an almost magical way, automatic and intelligent transactions being pushed in real time into financial systems like Twinfield, Xero, and Sage, as well as capturing receipts and expenses on the go, and staying in control with an outstanding workflow for approving invoices. Now, what made all this possible? What is their secret? Basecone, where accounting magic happens.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WDL Show. What is the WDL Show, you ask? It's essentially a chit-chat talk show format, essentially an opportunity for you to know more about the people who are involved, because it's not just organizers and participants. So for the next 20 minutes, we'll be sitting down with several guests for a light conversation in order to, number one, get their input on why they chose WDL, and number two, give you, the participants, some hints and tricks on how to succeed throughout these next 4 months. I welcome you all to open the drink of your choice, sit back, relax, because right after this, we'll be announcing the stage 1 topic and challenges. Okay, first up, I have the tech moguls with me today. For those who don't know, the tech moguls were finalists of WDL21, and they actually came in 2nd place last year. It's great to see you all back, gang. We had a couple of lives last year. How's it going?
Hey, Miguel. Should I speak first, or does anyone else want to take the lead?
Yeah, go on. You are the captain.
Okay. So, hey guys,
Nice
the captain here. WDL was really great experience last year, so I hope that everyone that is joining this year will also have a great experience and learn a lot.
Paul, you're actually kind of stepping already on my first question, so I'll let you just keep rambling. Honestly, my first question was going to be, why did you choose to participate in the WDL last year? Why WDL and not something else?
Yeah, so first of all, because I knew part of the organization and I trusted them fully to do a great job. And after the results last year, I trust them even more. And I saw an opportunity to work with real live data and to build a proper portfolio, which is something that as data scientists, you will want to do. With this competition, you can tackle real life challenges and end up with impactful solutions. So think of a problem from start to end, and then you can show people what you tried to create and how you thought. And I think that's a huge value for everyone.
Awesome. That's great to hear. I love the part where you mentioned that the organization was good. I feel flattered. I think I speak for everybody that we also had a blast last year organizing it. Tume, Tiago, what do you guys say?
I can go on. So just the fact that we are working for social good always motivates me to participate in this kind of events, and we share my knowledge with other pairs, other people, and talk with my teammates about these problems was a really nice job and task during this challenge.
Okay, Tiago, do you want to go next?
Yes, why not? So once again, it's really cool to be here and to see new faces and old faces again. So it seems like it was a long time ago that we participated in the first edition. So that should be because of this strange thing called pandemic. But on the other hand, it was really cool to work again with old friends as Paulo and Tomé. And so for me, more than let's say, do some stuff for social good, it was really cool to work again with friends and to learn new things, since we are now following our lives and each one of us has a different path, let's say. So it was really cool to join these mindsets and skills and to do things that were, in the end, that were really, really great, and to invest that amount of time in those weekends and having fun. So for me, it was all about having fun and review and visiting old friends and work with them again.
I love that you guys all covered 3 completely different points, which I think are all completely valuable, and it's really what we strive for as well at WDL. I was going to ask you, was there any other point, or else let me rephrase, what did you guys learn halfway through the competition last year that you wish you had known in the beginning? you actually won 2 stages, I remember. So if you learned something halfway, it worked because you did a double, I should say. But is there something that you really felt, ah, damn, if I knew this in the beginning, it would have made such a difference?
Yeah, I think I can start for now. I have some ideas regarding that. I think the most important part is to don't overcomplicate. Try to think of how your solution would look like end to end, and instead of spending your time creating a state-of-the-art model, invest it into thinking about how your end user would use that solution. And before that, who is your end users, or who is your end user or your end users, because there could be multiple with different impacts. To me, Tiago, your turn.
Yes, I would say learn also how to do videos. Don't spend 2 hours trying to do a video. Yes, that's a funny story. It's really actually an inside joke in our team. So one of us, I will not say which one of us. So we one of us spent actually like 1 hour and a half doing a video for a submission. It was tough.
Okay, so I'm going to rephrase what I said in the opening session. Murphy's Law, consider that a slack of 1 hour and a half, just because of what Tiago has just said. You're going to need some time to prepare the video. Tumay, your side, what happened?
I can add something. Basically, try to think practical and not too much theoretical, because we are here to find real solutions and not, as Paul said, state-of-the-art models. We need to think about the problem in an integrated way and not just thinking about the possible theoretical solutions for that, and thinking in an overview of all the problem and for all the people that can affect with our solution.
Awesome, guys. I really think that, I mean, everything you just said, it's really, really, I mean, it's really important, because at the end of the day, there's a limited time. Last year, you guys had 2 weeks. We got a lot of feedback that we should increase that time, so we pumped it up to 3 weeks. But you know, at the end, there's only so much that you can do with the time that you had, that you have. So yeah, like Paulo was saying, you're not supposed to save the world here, but you are supposed to just, you know, come up with a practical, easy to implement solution that saves maybe a little bit of the world, I would say. Okay, I'll do another one, like around the room. Do you guys have anything from last year that you remember might be useful for someone who's starting now? I must say most of our participants this year are new. They did not participate last year. Do you remember something from last year that really stayed in your brain?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what is, since there's only one thing to say, it's kind of tough. I don't know if you're going to have multiple challenges per stage this year, but okay. So what really helped us was that each of us prioritized the challenges. So what we like to work on the most, and then we just checked the data sources initially, thought about like the most dumb way we could solve that, and then prioritize the one. So we did all this ranking, and then as a team chose the one most of us wanted to focus on, and that the solution was at least feasible. So we had some idea on how to solve it in a couple of minutes. And if you can think about it in a couple of minutes, you can think about more complex stuff.
Okay, Tiago or Tume, do you have anything?
Yeah, I guess one of the things that was actually really cool last year was also the side events and the side challenges. So I know at least last year it was even possible to win points with them. So, and in the end, this is also a game. So if you like gamification, or if you are a gamer of yourself, feel free to participate in all. At least we tried, and we actually scored, and we got to win some cool prizes as well. So last year we scored in in the side challenge of the third challenge, I guess, and we won like 4 books about technical stuff that were provided by a WDL partner. So in the end, actually, it's really cool to have these side events to, let's say, have a refresh of your minds sometimes.
Yeah, kind of to take a break, no? Do you remember what position you guys scored last year on the activities leaderboard?
I don't know, I think we didn't do the last, the last ones due to lack of time.
Maggie is saying you guys scored 3rd.
Oh, we didn't know. It's been a long time.
Okay, cool. I mean, this is all the questions I had for you. I don't know if you have some comments or anything you might want to add before you go.
I just say everyone to have fun. Don't try too hard, but still try. and talk with the organization. Get to meet them.
Awesome.
And make some friends. Actually, make some friends during the process.
yeah. Again, like community networking. No, definitely. Okay, cool. Then, guys, all I have to say, thank you very much, obviously for last year, but as well for being present here with these 5 minutes, for these 5 minutes talking to me and rambling around. Like, for us, it's really important to have, this like peer-to-peer sharing of tips and tricks and knowledge, because, at the end of the day, it's really all about the collaboration, and that's why we wanted to have you here and show a little bit of our youngsters, because you are already WDL alumni, so thank you so much for coming.
No problem, and thanks for the invitation. It was nice to be back.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm gonna let the tech moguls go back to their lives. Thank you very much, guys. And now with us for the second part, the WDL show, we have 3 very interesting people. They come from our 3 main partners, the main partners that are sponsoring WDL. And before you start thinking, oh, this is going to be a commercial break, believe me, it will not, because they are also 3 key players in the data science field. So let me welcome Francesco from EDP, an energy tycoon present in 28 markets in 3 continents. Jonathan from JTA, a company on a mission to help their customers discover their data advantage. And Tomasz from Basedone, a cloud-based solution for accountancy players to automate manual tasks. Guys, how are you doing today? How does it feel to be live on WDL?
Great.
Yeah. Well,
I see no cameras are breaking. The sound is working.
No, everything is working. Actually, it's great to be back. Last year I was here as a jury, so this year is a bit lighter, at least on my side.
You're right, Francesco. I totally forgot about that. Okay, so you're kind of here as also an alumni from last year.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, let me start with. I'll go around the room and I'll start with actually the same questions that I asked Tech Moguls. Why WDL? I guess in your case, why partnering with WDL?
I can
Francesco,
start.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I can start.
Go.
Yeah. So WDL, last year when you launched the first event, so I thought it was very interesting because I thought that something was missing in an international level, and was interesting also the approach to data science for social good. So actually using what we use on our day-to-day basis to solve social problems. That's something that is definitely interesting and is aligned with our core at EDP. Last year I participated as jury, and I found an amazing level of solutions, very well structured approaches, learned a lot of new things and new ways to solve problems. So I thought that the technical approach to the problems was worthy. And when I joined EDP last year, and I thought that it was very good for us to be here as partner, and partnering, this event specifically. That the second year will be definitely the best one since the first. And I think it will be very good to meet all the participants and the technical solutions that they have to propose. So very excited to be here.
Cool, awesome. Thanks, Francesco. Johnny, do you want to go next?
Sure, yes.
JTA.
Hello,
Tell me.
So you asked how I am. Sorry, I'm probably a bit echoey here. We have an expression in England which is "in the pink," meaning I'm really very well, but as you can see, I am quite literally in the pink.
You're literally in the pink.
This is one of our new focus rooms, which we've kind of painted a rather bright colour, so apologies for that. But
no problem.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm very pleased that we are finally here. It's extremely exciting to be involved. And as you know, our company, the company I work in, has followed Data Science Portugal, and actually it was some of my team members who recommended to me that we took part in the WDL. And when I started looking into it, it just made perfect sense to me, because we have a very much a sort of a grounding in Portugal and young Portuguese data scientists. My sort of bread and butter, if you like, is working with young, incredibly talented brains who are looking for solutions actually for our clients. So for us to sort of be involved in something which is doing something on a different sort of scale, on a world scale, and different sort of projects that are looking at different focuses, for me, I just thought that was going to be so interesting, and it was a no-brainer, I think is the term that people use. Yes, that's really why we wanted to be involved, and we're very pleased that we're here.
Cool, awesome, Johnny, and we're equally as pleased to have you guys here with us as well. So that's a win-win. Tomas, what about you and Basecon?
Yeah, so we have been in a couple of events that you guys have organized previously in other communities that you have, and we believe in the team that is developing this project. And I think it's important to support this kind of events and communities, so the future data scientists and data analysts or other people can join these areas and develop. And supporting this is very important for us, so we can move forward with technologies and products. So
okay, I'm going to use that as a segue actually for my next question. You've been mentioning getting brains in this area, and that makes me think about obviously hiring. I mean, we talked about in the opening session about the seniority level of our participants this year, and we know some of them might be actively looking for another job. Who knows? What are you personally looking for when you hire data scientists for your companies?
From my side, I think our two main pillars. One of them is being a good developer. I think building a stable and clean software is very important, so the projects can move forward and can improve it. We take that very much in consideration, and then also the out-of-the-box thinking. It's very important to us. We can work in multiple fields, persons can work in multiple fields, and many ideas can mix up. So the background itself is not that important, but I think having a great idea and the good development skills are a key factor for, at least from my perspective.
Okay. Francesco, Johnny?
So I would say, yeah, on our side, we definitely look at it's quite consistent, at least in terms of profile. So I agree with Thomas and with Johnny when they say that Portugal is a huge base of talent in this area. So I think it's a great place to hire. It's a great place also to work. There are very good minds that come out of the university. There are two things that I would say that we look mostly. The first one is curiosity. It looks like a bit of cliche, but the fact of asking questions and making the right intervene in the right questions and comments in meetings, it's definitely something that is relevant and help building a better solution in the end, and a better adjusted solution to our customer, our internal customer. And the second one is something that you require in big companies, and it's a bit of a resilience, something that you should not quit the first time you find like a barrier. And it's something that I've been fighting against my whole career, and I think it's interesting to see how young people come in with the right enthusiasm and try to bring new solutions. And we're here to help and fight against old blocks that might lock new solutions. So I think these are the two main components that we look usually in candidates. Johnny, over to you.
Yeah, I think that I have to agree with everything that you've both said. We tend to recruit young people, very young people, preferably straight out of university, because I think culture is incredibly important. And the sort of work that we do as data scientists is quite an unusual work. Well, at least I find it. I'm, as you can tell from my very grey hair, really quite old. I'm approaching my 60s. And so computing and problem solving from when I was at school, when there were no mobile phones, no PCs, none of these sort of technologies, to where it is now, it's been a very interesting journey, but we can talk a little bit about that later on. But culture of being able to solve problems, I think, is and get on with the clients is extremely important. We actually recruit from a wide range of disciplines, because we find that it's very hard to say, well, this person is the perfect data scientist. And for us, a data science task has to have a team where we will bring in lots of different disciplines. There might be an expert on visualization and reporting, or a fantastic engineer, or someone who understands cloud methodologies, or someone who's just good at AI. And so, we like to see a really broad range of skills, and then put everyone together in a room and see what they come up with. And as you guys have said, just being able to think outside the box and open-minded approach to problem solving is brilliant.
Put everybody inside a room and watch the world explode, right?
Hopefully.
Good approach.
Okay, to piggyback on that question, because when we talk about, data-related job roles or data scientists, I get the feeling, as someone who started in data science and has worked in a couple of companies, I see that companies tend to have a different definition and a different organization of their teams around the subject of data-related topics. So how does each one of your companies see the data roles, and how do the data roles collaborate with other areas of the company?
I can start maybe. So I'm coming from one of the group's companies. EDP's EDP Client Solutions is the retail part of EDP, and we actually live in our IT so in kind of EDP retail IT, and it's a good and bad thing at the same time. I think it's good because we are very close to systems, to all the infrastructure and architecture. At the same time, we can be transversally working for all parts of company. When I say company, it's Portugal, can be Italy, Poland, Brazil, and Spain, so the main regions we're working right now. And the way we work is, so we're trying to build like a competence center of BI and data science. So we actually have two teams, and I think it's a very good advantage. My team was very strong on BI, and then we started building last year our data science block. And it's very good because we have a huge connections with business, with all different business through BI. So our BI is helping us, increasing the maturity and the culture around the company, and then kicking off projects on the data science part. So usually we try to lead the projects of data science in two ways. So when we work on customers specifically, we drive together with our commercial areas, with contact areas, and with the customer management area, the projects based on priority. So if churn is priority on services, we drive the projects, we deliver, and then we operationalize it. When we work on the other part, is a bit more of unstructured data like text, voice, video, image. These are all processes that we actually work and try to seed the company. So we don't have specific use cases because I think most of business don't know that actually there are different ways to solve their problems. So we try to showcase little projects like MVPs on, there was a very interesting project we built on solar, try to get satellite image and determine the area available on a roof, and try to understand what's the potential to build solution for solar panels, for example, photovoltaic panels. So the idea there was, let's try to build something in a month or month and a half and show it to our entire company. And then a lot of requests will come in. So on this area, that is kind of brand new for the company. We're launching a lot of innovative solutions, very small, and try to encourage new requests for projects. So these are the ways we're working right now.
Awesome. Okay. That's cool. John, you want to go next? I mean, you have data scientists in your name, so.
Yeah, but I'll tell you in a little while a little bit about the history of the company. And, we didn't actually start with data science. We sort of morphed into it. But yes, we have data scientists. Nowadays, you can actually recruit people from universities who have that title, data scientists. But a lot of our data scientists will typically come from a mathematics background. They'll be maths people. And we tend to find that it's very difficult to take a programmer and teach them maths, but you can take a mathematician and teach them to program. So we find that works quite well. Whether they can program well or not is another matter. But in terms of how we put people together, we tend to, we sort of have a very clear view of certain sort of functions. So we'll have a data engineering function. So if we're working for a big customer, they might have a lot of could be petabytes of data, and it might be sitting on a large cloud. And so these would typically be IT engineers who work there. And their expertise is just downloading and finding ways to access and get that data. And then you get the data scientists, of course, who will start looking for the patterns and trying to develop algorithms and see what's going on. So we'll have another sort of core, if you like. But then we'll have another core, which is people who can explain to the customer or try and decipher what's going on. So this is typically the sort of the traditional Power BI visualization, getting a story across storytelling. So it's not just visualization. These are people who are incredibly good at understanding businesses and what businesses want. But at the same time, we find it very important to have a team that, if you like, goes over the whole of these departments, and they do what we call operations, because often once we've developed a model for a client, we just need to keep rerunning it.
Yeah.
And of course it needs to be
Maintenance.
refreshed and monitored and all of that kind of thing. And we don't want our data scientists spending a lot of time doing that. If they can pass something over to an ops team, so that ops team, they will be doing some great documentation and getting everything buttoned down and maybe putting some controls in. So if something fails, it can actually send an email saying there's something gone wrong with that model. So it's all about QA and just bread and butter operations. So those we identify those four things: the engineers, the data scientists, the explainers, and the business people, and then the ops QA folks. So we have those four disciplines, and that's how we bring them together.
Okay, yeah, makes complete sense to me. Okay. Lastly, I'm curious to know Basecon, obviously.
Yeah. So we the team that I work is like a data intelligence team. We just have one in that kind of field, and we have three main roles. So we have data scientists, we have machine learning engineers, and we have data engineers. And basically what happens, we have like a product owner that sees what are the main targets that are the needs, and we talk with them and see how we can help them with that. So when the product owner gives us a product to develop, we try to do like a brainstorming how we can build that, and we do a study around the state of the art of that kind of fields and how can we break the project to try to simplify. That's the first step, at least for us. And then we start moving the goal till the end, to the end. So the data engineers basically are working around data lake, organized data lakes. So the data scientists have the data that needs to do their work, so the research and building the models and doing the analysis and all kind of things. The machine learning engineers, what they do is basically connecting our models to the infrastructure of the company, so that data scientists don't have to worry about that. I think that gives us a lot of time, and that the data scientists just like do the research that they needed. So in our companies, from the side of the data scientists, we first try to move like in spikes, as I said before, so state of the art. Then we move to POCs. So we do a couple of POCs to see which is the best approach. Then we evaluate what are the best approach, and then we move to MVP. In MVP, it's just like a first stage of the product. Probably is not going to do everything that our product owner wants, because they want everything to be perfect, and we cannot provide that. And then we start moving, we start increasing the complexity of the project. And that's why I said before that for us, software is, the part of developing software is important, so the project can be built on and improve on. That's a main step. And basically that's it. And when we have a new product, we also do these kind of things. And of course, we try to improve it, and we continue to research our products. Because our process is not like one delivery time. It's like we have to do like continuous integrations, continuous development to improve our products.
Okay. Thank you too much for that perspective. Yeah, we're actually already over time. I didn't even realize the time passing, and I'm getting the notifications from the green room. Get out, we gotta go. So Tomas, Johnny, Francesco, thank you very much. This is the first time you're joining WDL, won't be the last. We're gonna be together for the next 4 months. I mean, just enjoy. And again, thank you very much for believing in the World Data League and partnering with us. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now next up, we're gonna go to the long-awaited moment, the kickoff of stage 1. So let's see what the topic is, shall we? Roll the video and see you all in a bit. Ciao, ciao.
All right, so now we know what is the surprise of the first stage. The topic is environment, for which we will have 2 separate challenges. So what will happen now is that I will present you the challenges on a very high level, and then we will discuss these challenges together with 2 of the members of the topic entities that proposed them. Afterwards, you will have a chance to dig into it, into more details, and specifically, you will have a chance to ask all the questions you have about the data, the technical questions on our Discord. So without further ado, let's kick this off. And for the first challenge, it is predict waste production for its reduction. It actually rhymes, huh? And the goal here is that we really want to look at the solid waste production. So, or in layman's term, basically the garbage that people produce in their households. It's already, can be seen, it's already quite a big problem in cities. There is one report that in 2016, cities have generated more than 2.01 billion tons of solid waste. So that's around 0.774 kilos per day per person. And of course, with the city ever more growing, this is going to continue to be a problem. And it's also actually one of the biggest costs usually for city halls. It's all of the logistics of how do you organize, how do you get the garbage, how do you dispose of it, and so on. So the goal of this challenge is to help to identify the trends in waste production and also to help create insights into how to reduce waste and optimize its collection. And more concretely, what we would like for you to look at is to identify the waste trends and produce an explainable model for predicting the future waste production. Now, this is going to be a lot of time series you need to hear. So if you would like to start already brushing up your time series skills, I would definitely recommend that. The main data set that you will have is from Austin, Texas, which is the daily waste collection, but this is not the only data set that you can use. So one important aspect about World Data Leak is actually you can use any data set as long as it's open and as long as you could download it legally. So this means that if some website do not allow you to scrape the data, then you cannot obviously use that data. And the good thing is that Austin actually has over 4,000 data sets on the open data portal. Next, for the second challenge, it's the air quality prediction in busy streets. So for this challenge, we're going to be working with an organization from Amsterdam. And more specifically, this organization, you will be able to hear all about it in just a bit. But this organization wants to look at Stadhouderstraat, which is one of the busiest and important streets of Amsterdam. And what they want to do is to implement the project called Green Mile, which will transform the street from a place where people just pass by into rather a place where people want to stay. And one of the aim, of course, is to decrease the air pollution on that street. Therefore, the goal of this challenge is to help the initiators of the project, and there's plenty of them, to create a case and buzz needed to make the changes in the street, and more specifically, for the current impact that it has on air pollution. So what we are looking for is an explainable predictive model for different pollutants that are produced on Stadhouderstraat. And for that, you will have access to a data set, which is the hourly measurements of air quality. As with the previous challenge, obviously you can use any other open data set that you can think of that might help you. And I can already hint you, for example, at the weather data set. Amsterdam has also an open data portal with around 400 data sets that you can look at and choose and apply them. So those are the challenges. You will, in a bit, we will hear a bit about it from the people who proposed this challenge. But before that, there's also 2 other important things that we need to hear about, is about the activities that will happen on Discord. And for this, we have Maggie that will talk about.
Thank you so much, Leon. So I think most of you already know we are starting the Get to Know activity. So your team has to create a team badge. This badge will be presented on your avatars on Discord and also on our activities leaderboard. So be creative. This is the badge that's going to represent your team spirit. Although this activity is not going to be rewarded with points or prizes, I just want to mention what Tech Mogul said. This competition, of course, it's meant for you to learn a lot and increase your networking, but it's also to make friends and to become part of a real community. So who knows, maybe there's teams out there that share the same families or interests in you. And you can see that on Discord when you post your team badge. It's until Friday, so don't forget. And now Alex is going to explain the next activity.
Thank you, Maggie. Okay, so regarding human bingo, I'm not sure if you've heard about it, but this is about basically finding answers to the questions we are going to ask. So we are going to send you 4 sets of 3 questions each set. And the faster you answer, the more points you get. So this is an activity for you to get to know not only fellow participants, but also mentors, jury, and organizers. So there are going to be some questions about mentors, juries, organizers, and fellow participants. We have posted rules on Discord today, so make sure to follow them, because points from this activity are going to be counted for the main prize. But we also have some additional prizes for this activity, which are technical ebooks. So one of the perks that TechMoguls mentioned, and well, you can win them by answering those questions. And we know you are here for the serious business, you know, the part that Leon presented, but please remember that networking is really important and can help you with your further career and can be just fun. So now let's move on to the first set of our questions in the human being activity. So I will give you a moment to write it down or take a screenshot, because if you watch this live, you have a slight advantage because we are going to post those questions on Discord a little bit later. So the first question is for you to find a team that each member already took part in at least 3 hackathons. Then the second question is to find a team that has a team member from Colombia. And the third question is to find a team that consists only of females. So as I said, rules are on Discord. We are waiting for answers for this set of questions until March 7th. If you have any questions regarding that, please ask us on Discord on WDL activities or directly to Maggie or me. And well, let's have some fun and good luck.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the presentation. And now let's go to the roundtable after a short break. So again, as previously, this roundtable will actually be based on your questions. So I will have a couple prepared, but then we really want to hear your questions that you have towards the topic owners. Please do write them down. Now, I see that there is also a question on YouTube already. You mentioned time series for challenge 1 is that desired outcome. What about if we tackle the challenge differently? So you should really look into what is the goal and the outcome of the challenge. And as long as it manages that outcome, then it's perfectly okay. But the data set, the main data set that is available will be a time series data set. Any other question, Miguel? Hi, could you elaborate on the goal? What does a case and buzz mean in this context? Okay, so in this sense, actually, we will get back to that question in a bit when we'll have the UN studio with us. So we will get back to that. Any other question? I guess not. So this means that we can close it for now. And in a bit, after a short break, we'll come back with 2 very special guests. See you in a bit.
There used to be a time not so long ago where doing your admin was tough. Customers throwing bags and boxes full of invoices and receipts at their accountants, it was chaos. While the world around us became more digital, new challenges in the land of accounting arose. Challenges such as organizing the huge amount of documents coming from different sources in various formats. Yet somehow all of this data did seem to get perfectly organized. In an almost magical way, automatic and intelligent transactions being pushed in real time into financial systems like Twinfield, Xero, and Sage, as well as capturing receipts and expenses on the go, and staying in control with an outstanding workflow for approving invoices. Now, what made all this possible? What is their secret? Basecone, where accounting magic happens.
Welcome back, everyone. So now I have Mahtal with me and Uba. They're going to introduce themselves in a bit. But first, let's talk about what is this roundtable about. In this roundtable, the goal is that you can understand the context of the problem and why are you actually developing the solution that you are developing. And with me, I have Hubert. Hubert, maybe you can say hi.
Hi, Leonid. Hi, everyone.
So Hubert is from Urban AI, and the Urban AI is proposing the challenge on waste management. And maybe Hubert, just tell, like in 2-3 sentences, where you're from, what do you do, what is your background?
Sure. So I'm based in Paris. I have a background in urban economics, climate policy, and business, and concerning urban AI. So this is a think tank dedicating to the emerging field of urban artificial intelligence.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And also coming all the way from Netherlands, Mahtal, which is responsible for the challenge for the air quality. Mahtal, maybe also tell us a bit about yourself.
Yes, hello. My name is Machteld Kors. I'm from architectural firm UN Studio, based in Amsterdam. And I'm an art historian from background, leading a movement for making the street where our office is based greener, more sustainable, more inclusive, and more safe.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So I will, before I kick off with some questions, some basic questions, just to let the audience know, you can also ask questions. I will ask questions maybe for the next 10-15 minutes, but then we want to hear the questions from you. And we would like to know what you would like to know about the context, so we can actually ask these questions live and have discussion really based on what you think is interesting for you to solve the challenge. Maybe, so before we start, Hubert, I know that you founded Urban AI when you started traveling a bit around the globe and getting to know what our city is doing with AI. So maybe just shortly talk about this experience and talk about what you found out from traveling.
Yeah, so actually 3 years ago, when it was easy to travel around the world before the COVID crisis, I did a world tour. And the goal of this world tour was to understand how artificial intelligence is used in cities. So this is in the context of this world tour that I explored in total 12 cities. So for example, you had like Montreal, San Francisco, Tokyo, Seoul, Singapore, Dubai, Amsterdam, actually, where I met Ben van Berken. And so yeah, this was really super interesting, super insightful, because this is during this world tour that emerged the concept of urban artificial intelligence. And this is following this world tour that I founded Urban AI. And basically the idea of Urban AI is to say that we have an emerging technology that is the AI, artificial intelligence, that is not always used for good reasons, but that can be used to create more sustainable cities, to create cities that are more inclusive. And this is why with this institute, with Urban AI, we are investigating this technology with a community of pioneers, global pioneers, to propose sustainable uses and ethical modes of governance of Urban AI.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Mahtal, maybe you can tell a bit about UN Studio and a bit. I know that you guys are really thinking into how to use technology in your context. So I think that's always also an interesting perspective.
Yeah, well, UN Studio is an architectural firm, but well, we design for large-scale urban plans and also door handles. So we basically range the whole scale from the built environment. When we design, we often base our designs on assumptions. And 4 or 5 years ago, we founded a separate firm called UN Sense, which is focusing on the integration of technology in the built environment, also with the goal not to only base our designs on assumptions, but rather base our designs and urban plans on facts and measurements. And so by doing this, we try also to be much more conscious of what we propose and what we design, and so not using technology only for the sake of efficiency, but also for the sake of making the built environment more comfortable, more healthy, and more sustainable. And well, we always say technology is super fast and construction is very slow. Concerned with like an average project takes about 5 or 6 years to build. And more technological related projects are going super fast and innovations are going super fast. So we're trying to combine the quickness of technology with the slowness of urban design, and very much believe that data-informed designs are the future. So
maybe I will piggyback on that question for you, and maybe you can also give a bit more context on this initiative that you're leading, the Green Mile.
Yeah, the Green Mile as well. During the Corona time, we were much more conscious also of the location where our office was based. Our office is based on the, apologies for the complicated Dutch street name, but the Stadhouderskade in Amsterdam, and which is basically the most polluted and most unsafe street in Amsterdam. And when being or traveling much less, so to say, than compared to before Corona, we became also very conscious about the built environment and the place where we were sitting. And we took up the challenge for ourselves to design the street in a much more conscious way, and not by just making a design, but rather by creating a movement, by setting up, by trying to get an initiative to the different stakeholders that are also located at that street. So it's the brewery Heineken is based on that street, famous museum, the Rijksmuseum, and the School for Applied Sciences is based on that same street. And we have all taken up the initiative to create a movement to turn the most polluted street in Amsterdam into the safest, most inclusive and green street of Amsterdam. And we believe that AI, hopefully, because I was super triggered by you reaching out to us, that AI can help us with convincing also the municipality and all stakeholders living in the same street to change that street into a more into a better place. And by providing insight and arguments on how to change it, we hope that people also understand how they can contribute to making that a better place.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I hope that this also answers, there was a question. So if to elaborate a bit on the goal of the case and what does buzz mean in this case, it's not so much about buzz, but it's even more about, I guess, creating awareness and showing a bit what is happening. And this is not just us saying, but this is the data saying it. And this is, and specifically, what are the conditions that need to happen for the pollution, for those pollution indicators to go up, and how will it look like in the future, for example. Okay, then maybe let's talk about waste, I guess, and how do you see data science, AI, machine learning related to waste production, and how could it actually help to reduce waste production from your point of view?
I think that data science and AI can be very useful in the field of waste management, at least for two reasons. First one is that it can help to create cleaner city. We know for sure from like social investigation and even urban investigation that people have not a rational relationship with waste and garbage in the streets. You know, like very quickly, if you see just a few garbages, you are going to be like upset with like the management of waste and of the city. And actually, it can even have like deeper consequences. Like we also know, for example, that this is quite famous example in urban design. But when you have, for example, a broken door or a broken glass in a street, it will invite and let people have a bad behavior, actually. So it means that really like the built environment and the visual condition is really important when we are talking about cities. And here AI and data science can be used to create cleaner cities, and it could also help, for example, to create indicator, like indicator of how clean is a city, and this indicator can be used in a top-down perspective, so for waste management by urban services, but it can also be used by people, and this is where it became interesting, is to say, okay, maybe people can contribute to create cleaner cities. And this is what maybe I would like to encourage, is to create applications, data-driven application, not only for city services, but also for people. And to say that people can contribute to the city, and this sense of contribution is very important when we are talking about city. The second thing, maybe more quickly, is about circularity, of course, about circular city. And here again, AI can be used, for example, computer vision to do to classify garbages, to classify waste, and to help to create circular cities. We were talking about sustainability. So obviously, when we are talking about sustainability, we have in mind climate change, we have in mind greenhouse emission, and a way to reduce our carbon footprint and to be at least to become a low carbon city is to become a circular city. So to be able to reuse waste, to be able to see waste as a resource. And if we want to see waste as a resource, AI can be very helpful to create connection between those resources.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So now maybe picking back on this and jumping to the air quality question. It's so what kind of tools do you think could be the outcome, or that could be created to kind of improve, let's say, the air quality in the city for local authorities, or for anyone that might have a need for prediction of the air quality inside the city? Because last year we saw an example, for instance, that one of the challenges from last year was to create a tool for helping choosing the place to perform, for example, outdoor activities for the citizens, where the air quality is going to be predicted it's going to be a bit better for that day. Do you see any other such examples? And the question is to both of you, actually. So anyone can go first.
Oh, yeah, I think creating awareness and understanding where it's clean and where it's less clean, and if there's any causal connection between the weather and the traffic, so to say, like really making people much more aware of less traffic, better weather, maybe combines or gives better air quality. I think that already would that would help and stimulate people to maybe use less the car and use more bikes. I mean, Amsterdam is of course for bikes, so that there will be that I think the informative and kind of predictive, like if you do this, then this is the result. That would, I think, help tremendously to not only educate people, but just also see when they are doing right or when they are doing wrong. Yeah, so it will be great. I don't know how this whole community can help with this, but I have high hopes that there might be some super smart insights that can be provided for the people that live there and use that street.
Thank you. Ruben, any thoughts on this?
No, I completely agree. I think that an important milestone is about creating awareness, and it can be interesting both for to have a kind of enlightened urban planning, and also for people to say, okay, I will take a decision. You know, for example, when you are going through the city, usually you take a decision depending of several elements, and maybe tomorrow you could say, okay, if I have a bike, maybe I will avoid some area with high air pollution. So this is interesting at an individual level. And maybe just one last element on air pollution is that we know that today more and more communities are creating their own sensors because they want to tell to institutions, to cities that they have to do something against air pollution. Mm-hmm. And I think it's interesting because it means that data is a way to create accountability, it's a way to create transparency, and became a kind of civic fight, civic engagement. And so that's why what you are doing on air pollution, waste management with data is really so important and so useful for people, communities, and cities.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So maybe another question is that, do you have any tips that you would like to leave to the participants? So maybe something that they should read, something they should think about when they're solving the challenge. What is the important thing that they need to keep in mind when they're thinking about this?
Well, yeah, Amsterdam, coins to say that they have an enormous great data bank. I saw it was described also in the challenge that, you might try and dig around there. So I would definitely, and I noticed that you mentioned, like, if your Dutch is a bit rusty, then try Google Translate. I think that's a good tip. So I think there's, by being able, and I'm also still searching for it, like being able to link safety by because it's also a very unsafe street. It's the street where the most accidents happen, like including that kind of information also in building up arguments to not use, for example, motorized traffic or like noise levels as an indicator or parameter linked to the air quality. I'm very interested to really make an additional link to noise and accidents and those kind of elements, if that would be possible.
Okay, perfect. Hubert, any tips or tricks you would like to?
Maybe one tip, because when we are talking about cities, of course, it's always people first. It seems obvious to say it, but when we are working with technology and with amazing technology like machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, sometimes we are more attracted by the technology itself, than by people and the city. So really keep in mind that you should design and imagine your application for people. So keep in mind the usage, how will people use your technology, and yet I think that would be my advice for this.
Then maybe another question is that we also, a lot at World Data League that we talk about is impact, and we ask the participants to also, when they propose an idea, so basically what they will do is they will work on some AI or machine learning model, and then afterwards they will also try to propose how it should be actually applied. So how do you convert that into a product either to be used by the government or to be used by some city official or the police or whatever? And the question there, I would like to know at least, is how do you actually see that this impact could be measured of these products? And do you have any tips to think about impact of these things? Uber, maybe to mix it up a bit, since it's not always going first.
I think that really the most complicated part of the problem and the most important one, because obviously the model itself, the machine learning model. So when you're a data scientist, this is the interesting part, what you have to do, what you like to do. But I'm sorry to say it, this is also the most easy one to have the model. Now the issue is how, when you have this model, you're able to implement it in the city. How, this is an expression that I really like, how you are able to urbanize a model. This is an idea from Saskia Sassen. And here I agree that the most important thing is to be able to measure the consequences of your model. So you have the different indicator. Obviously, you have environmental indicator about the carbon footprint of your model. So if you are using an AI application to reduce greenhouse emission, but your AI model consumes a lot of energy, it doesn't make any sense. So you have to measure the carbon footprint of your model itself, and also of the application of your model, for example. And so this is maybe something that we always have to keep in mind: the different scale of your model, the model itself, how it will impact the neighborhood, how it will impact the city, etc., etc. This is something that you often study, in climate policy, the different effect at different scale of your model, especially when we are talking about carbon footprint. Also, you could use the same logical for social effect, like how do you really create inclusion? For example, if you are creating an application, an iPhone application, maybe it will really help some people, but you have to keep in mind that a population will not be able to use this application, because by design they are not able. For example, older people are not able to use a smartphone. So here again, you have to do this work of really have a kind of systemic view of your model.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested by the fact that you're talking about urbanizing your model, or and I think it's also very much about inclusivity and indeed making it accessible, because the movement that we're setting up is very much about inclusivity and making it accessible for not only a smaller group, but for the whole group of stakeholders and people that live there in that street. And I think the most ideal impact is that the model informs people about what they can contribute and how they can be proud on what they have achieved by the information out of that model. I mean, that's I think it's all about the people and disclosing that information of that model, or how that model can be applied. For me, it's still a bit abstract, but I think this audience here is very much aware of what the possibilities are and really pushing the boundaries. And I think, I think it's a great opportunity also for this for Amsterdam. And I know that the Amsterdam Economic Board, I informed them that we proposed this challenge to this group. And I mean, they are, highly excited to see what eventual outcomes may be. So I'm sure there will be a huge platform for people that will look at the results. And I think that's also important, so that the span of impact of the models that are being designed for this challenge is larger than only that green mile, or the street that we are trying to achieve there.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So I think I'm looking at the timer now, and it seems like the stage where the competition is going to kick off in exactly less than a minute and a half. So first of all, I would like to thank you for coming to this live stream and for letting everyone know about the challenge and giving a bit more context to participants. Thank you, Martel. Thank you, Uber. I'm just going to quickly answer in the last minute 2 questions that were still there. And the first question is the jury going to be technical people? Yes, the jury is going to be all of them technical juries. And then the second question was, the project proposed seemed to be for profit companies. Can I confirm that no output produced during World Data League will be monetized for private gain? So all the output actually of World Data League is completely open sourced under the MIT license in terms of code, and under Creative Commons in terms of output, documentation, and insights. So basically anyone can use the output either for any of the cases. What we really want to achieve is to create an open hub with knowledge, which will have social impact. And from our point of view, that if it is also monetizing, great, because it is a sustainable idea, but then it has impact. But on the other hand, also nonprofit organizations can use it, and also governments can use it. So it's really an open platform for everyone. And with this, we would like to wish everyone good luck, and we will kick off in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kick off. All right. So good luck, guys. I hope that you enjoy this competition. I don't know if Miguel is also joining me just to say goodbye. Yeah, hope to see you soon, and let's have a great competition. And if you have any questions, please do leave them on Discord. We'll be available the next couple of hours to reply them. Goodbye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Back.
There used to be a time not so long ago where doing your admin was tough. Customers throwing bags and boxes full of invoices and receipts at their accountants, it was chaos. While the world around us became more digital, new challenges in the land of accounting arose. Challenges such as organizing the huge amount of documents coming from different sources in various formats. Yet somehow all of this data did seem to get perfectly organized. In an almost magical way, automatic and intelligent transactions being pushed in real time into financial systems like Twinfield, Xero, and Sage, as well as capturing receipts and expenses on the go, and staying in control with an outstanding workflow for approving invoices. Now, what made all this possible? What is their secret? Basecone, where accounting magic happens.